Hey, this is Judgment Awaits, playing some Darksiders 2. The DLC just came out called Arguls Tomb, so I'm going to show you all of that. Now I'm playing this on apocalyptic difficulty. I'm a level 21. Most of the creatures that I saw in here are like around to level 22. So if you're playing this on normal, you're going to have, no problem getting through this. On apocalyptic, some areas are a little challenging, but it's still not that bad. But you want to come this way and you're going to talk to Ostagoth, and he kind of explains what's going on.
Why have you called me here, Ostagoth?
You trade words like I trade coin, Ryder. You give little and you take much. How's this for a bargain? For a moment of your time, I'll give you a tale and an opportunity.
I'm listening.
Before the Lord of Bones sat upon the eternal throne, there was another, more ancient king of the dead. His name was Argul. Argul the Mad. His reign lasted for eons, until he was betrayed.
By the Lord of Bones?
Yes. Now, this tale is no great secret, but for one detail lost to the ages. The location of Argul's tomb. The Lord of Bones cast the tomb out of the underworld, so Argul would not be able to draw upon its power. Since then, knowledge of the tomb and its location have faded into the mists of time. None but Ostagoth remembers.
What became of Argul?
The Lord of Bones could have easily slain his predecessor. Instead, he entombed Argul beneath the dead plains. Now, did the Lord of Bones intend this as mercy or cruelty? Who can guess the motives of the dead? Except yourself, perhaps.
What else can you tell me about Argul?
Well, he was considered utterly insane. Argul would rant about the end of the world, a coming darkness that would spread through realms of life and death.
Corruption.
No, he spoke of the Riders. We must seize this opportunity to find the source of Argul's power, and, if possible, destroy it.
What do you gain from all this, trader?
That is not your concern. Instead, know this. In return for annihilating the source of Argul's strength, I can offer you a great reward.
Alright, so we're looking for the Spire Key, and we're going to go into the Strange Cave to look for it. Now, this whole DLC took me between 2 and 3 hours, and I think there are basically 3 boss battles. One kind of minor, one kind of medium, and one kind of like the big boss battle. So you're going to head down into this area. Go ahead and jump down in there, though. Down here, you're going to find the Gore Hammer, which is a gun. Basically, it shoots like rockets that kind of stick, and then you have to detonate them. So you fire the right trigger to fire the actual explosives, and then you detonate them by hitting the left trigger. So you want to use this gun throughout this whole first area as long as you can. If you try to take on all these guys in hand-to-hand, they're going to be, it's going to be a tall order trying to do that. So don't be afraid to use this weapon. With this gun, you have an infinite number of rounds. I think you have about 4 shots, though, in a magazine. You can fire them all at once and then detonate them, or you can fire and detonate, do whatever you want to, though. Usually on apocalyptic, it takes about 4 rounds to actually take one of these skeleton guys down. Now in this region, you're going to find the skeleton guys, the bigger boss skeleton guys, and also these creatures, whatever they are, both the bigger ones and the smaller ones. Those are pretty much going to be the minions that you come into contact with. When you're using this weapon, don't be afraid to engage the ones that you can see and kind of fall back as they start coming towards you. You don't want to charge ahead with this weapon. You know, you can obviously drop it and go into hand-to-hand, but if you just want to use this weapon, kind of engage the guys that you have to and fall back if they start getting close to you. Now, to be honest with you, it feels a little too easy using this gun, so I actually ended up dropping it right here. And you know, you don't have to worry about taking that first one with you. There's going to be those weapons all over throughout this area, but actually, you know, wanted to make it a little bit more challenging, so I went into hand-to-hand. But I don't know if I'd recommend doing that, at least not on Apocalyptic at my level, because it got a little hairy at times. So you might want to just keep using that weapon, you know, instead of doing what I did. There were quite a few times that I found myself getting frozen, and then I'd get backed into a corner and these skeleton guys would just come at me. So don't be afraid though to use your wrath like I'm doing. You know, I really like this move. It works really well because there's so many people around you. If you do find yourself in a kind of a sticky predicament, just fall back and go and find one of the guns that's laying around and then re-engage these guys like I'm doing right here. Oh, I went back a little bit. But see, they start wailing on me and freeze me again. So after this, I think I'm going to fall back and grab one of the guns and take them on. Now, as far as my impressions of this DLC, it's really short. Like I said, it's only going to take you 2 to 3 hours. You know, I think I explored everything that I could. It's pretty easy. The boss battle at the end is pretty good, and the boss battle that I'm getting ready to go up against is pretty good. Even the middle one, you know, not too bad. But like I said, you know, I'm using Apocalyptic settings, so you guys that are really good and might want to go the Nightmare route or anything like that. But this is the boss battle at the end of the first area. You go against one of these ice, actually more than one of these ice giants, but I'm going to play out this entire scene and this entire boss battle. There's quite a few people that you're going to end up taking on. I wouldn't recommend dropping this weapon. You know, I'd keep a hold of it and just keep using it the entire time. Keep circling, keep your distance, keep away from these guys, and just blast everything that you can. But besides this, I've got 2 dungeon guides that I'm going to be releasing. There's 2 dungeon areas in this DLC. And a couple areas are a little bit difficult to figure out, so hopefully, you know, these dungeon guides will help you out. But if you got any questions or comments on the DLC, make sure you leave them for me. But I am going to end with this. As always, though, take care and God bless.